So it's FA Cup weekend. So
It is. I'm excited about it. Love the FA Cup, me. I don't know about you. Love the FA Cup. Remember watching it as a kid growing up, waking up downstairs, 9 o'clock in the morning, turn the telly on, and it was already on. 9 o'clock in the morning.
They made a day about it, didn't they? Actually,
Yeah, it's brilliant. Just they'd be doing quizzes. They'd have fans from either team. Eventually, culminating in they'd be on the bus. They'd be on one of the team's buses on the way to the ground. They'd play the FA Cup final song that they'd recorded earlier in the week. That'd go off. Oh, I used to absolutely love it. I think maybe because as well, this time for me, of my real sort of first experiences of football, well, what I can remember back when you're searching your memory banks, but happened when the English clubs weren't in Europe. So this was the sort of pinnacle of every season. This was what every season built towards. And as a kid who loved football, it was so exciting.
it doesn't really feel like that anymore, though, does it? In terms of obviously we still love the FA Cup, especially here in the UK, but it's not made as big of a deal as what it maybe used to be 20, 30 years ago.
Champions League football's changed all that, and the money that goes into it, the ease at which we can see every game on the telly, so people will be able to tune in and watch, the semi-final we've just seen, Bayern Munich and PSG. We can all sort of tune in and watch that, whereas it was a lot harder to have access to that kind of game back in, go back 30 years.
I've always been able to watch whichever game on my age, and I'm not sure about you too.
Showing it. Is he making me feel old there, or is he trying to make himself feel young?
He's not doing it to me, mate. He knows better than that.
Yeah, no, just not.
Yeah, you've grown up in the age of access for everything and all sorts.
And boy.
Growing up, you've probably never known what it was like not to have a phone.
Yep, no.
You know what I mean? Where you had to literally go knock for your friends, knock on the front door, and ask
no,
if they're in.
I still did that though. I still had to knock on.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're not too
You
old.
were saying the other week, like kids don't play outs. Kids don't. I did play. I was in that era of like play outs. I reckon I was like the last era.
Jumpers for goalposts.
Knock on though. Did you call it knock on or knock for?
I got knock for me, mate.
Knock on.
I wasn't knocking anyone else that age.
Yeah, I was knocking for you. I'll knock for you, not knock on. No, just intrigued by that. We're all.
How often did you play footy when you were a kid?
Every single day.
Yeah.
If it wasn't in school, I was playing footy. Well, and we played footy when we were in school, break time, dinner time, any chance we got, we were kicking a ball, and if we weren't kicking a ball, we were taking the mickey out of each other.
Yeah.
And for me, if it wasn't doing either of them, I was having a fight.
Sometimes the both at the same time.
I mean, that has happened.
I won.
That has happened, I'm not going to lie about that. So yeah, I mean, Ossie's memories for the FA Cup and all that stuff. Ossie's immersed in football, and it's from a young age all the way through his adulthood, even to now. It's just ingrained in his life. Obviously, for me, it's a little bit different. Even though I love football and it's my passion and it's what I do, what I love, where I go every weekend. I wasn't ingrained in the cup that much because I'm just sick of getting my heart broke. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's fair.
I've just had enough of it. Like, I've lost the passion for the FA Cup. I really have, which is I'm sad to say that.
Now, or you never had it back then. Sort of, you've slowly lost the passion.
Just after 1995, it just went. I wouldn't say after 1995. I mean, that day at Wembley, the cup final, beating United the way we did, against all the odds, Dogs Award that year, and
did you get to go?
Was great. No, it's great. It's great to go, but it's great to reminisce about it. But ever since then, I've just been laughed at by them.
Maybe you're the problem. Maybe we just can't take you anywhere to follow the team anymore. Maybe that's what it is.
I've been round Europe. I was at the cup final when King scored that goal in the first second.
Yeah.
Just too
but
soon.
we lost that.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like we don't really go for the cups anymore. Do you understand why I'm saying that?
Maybe it feels like that. There was definitely a spell in the late 90s, early 2000s, where Premier League survival was a lot more important. And yes, maybe we didn't, as a team, I think before I got in, I think even still the first 2 seasons that I was playing, I think there was still concern about, not being in the FA Cup, or it's not the end of the world not being in the FA Cup because we've got to make sure we stay in the Premier League. But as you progress and you start to to attack it, start going for it every single year, you start to realise you've probably only got. So I got in the first team properly at 23. As a first team player who's there every week, you've probably only got about 7 or 8 attempts ever as a player to win the FA Cup. 10 if you're fortunate, 15 if you're an amazing
20
legend
if
of
you
a
got
club.
his body.
20 if you got Barry or James Milner, but you've probably not got many realistic opportunities, and the sooner you realise that as a player, the better, because you've got to go and try and seize it with both hands. You've got to take it as it is, and that's what I love about, let's say, Pep Guardiola at the minute, because he's come into the country. He's been here a long time now, but right from his very first season, he didn't dismiss winning any silverware at all. He didn't think the Carabao Cup wasn't good enough. He didn't think the FA Cup's not good enough. He showed that actually every single year we want to be lifting a trophy. It doesn't matter whether it does matter, but they would go for the Champions League and the league. But our domestic cups are still.
I was always disgusted.
City fans love him for that.
I was always disgusted. Remember that year that when United pulled out of it
for the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I was always disgusted at that. But that's really bad. I would never want to. But I'm not gonna lie. I've had my heart broke too many times. I've had enough. Like, I turn over
What was your first memory then of the FA Cup?
My first memory. I went to all of the build-up games in the 95. So I don't remember who they exactly were, but I remember Dave Watson scored in a header in one of the rounds at the Gladys Street end.
We beat Derby in the third round.
Or whoever he scored the header against that round.
We beat Norwich 1-0. We beat Norwich 4-5. No, we beat Newcastle 1-0 in the quarters.
Year. I think it was 6 or 7 quid to get in, but I crawled under the turnstile. So I was at most of them games. There was, that year we won it. I've been to so many. Listen, I'm not sure if it was the FA Cup or the League Cup. The Dan Gosling goal.
That was the FA
Cup.
Cup.
It was FA Cup.
Goodison Park.
That was, I think, the 4th round.
Okay.
But it was definitely the year we got to the cup final in 2009.
Okay.
I scored. We beat Macclesfield 1-0 in the third round, which had a funny story with it, and then we beat Liverpool, Villa, Middlesbrough, Man United. Like, we played, apart from Macclesfield, we played some tough games to get to the final.
I think the euphoria and the status of the cup still remains. Remember what Macclesfield done this year? Topping off, beating the champions, the holders of it in Palace, didn't he? I think it was Palace who they beat. It was they're the holders. So that the fairy tale stuff is still there. I just feel, from my personal perspective, I'm just sick of it. I take the kids. I mean, was it the FA Cup when we went to? I took the kids to Anfield and said to our Corey, right, listen, lad, we're going this one. I said, because we're going to finally topple them at Anfield, and they put the kids out. And they don't. And I think it was when Curtis Jones scored the goal in, and I'm just like, if we're not going to do it tonight, we're never going to do it. No, we're never going to do it. And me and our Corey turned up. I even had a pint at half time. Do you know what I mean? I just thought it's going to be the one.
Yeah.
And we just lost.
So you can't separate your heartbreak with Everton from the FA Cup in general.
No,
it's all just packaged in one.
Yeah, it's just all rolled into one. Even that 95, the underdogs, and I said the dogs of war. It was brilliant and what an occasion. But one night, I've had 20 since, 30 since.
I was 9 months old when that 1995.
Oh, right.
I'm not turning up with that.
Thanks, mate.
Jesus.
But so I've obviously seen nothing. Actually, like not one.
I say this to them. So my eldest brother, Craig, who got me supporting Everton, he's the reason I suppose Everton. My fella was a copite. My mum is kind of a blue, but my mum's mum, my nan, who's no longer with us, my beautiful nan, Rose, she was a staunch blue. She was a proper blue. One of the old nans who's go on Everton and stuff like that.
Love that.
Loves it. She was brilliant. Little frosty top on her. Go on Everton. Giving it the big one. But and our Craig took me, but I've just got too many years of heartbreak with it. So I want me kids to see something like we're the generation.
Tony, have faith.
I know, Oz, but we're the generation
nowadays. Positive thinking. The mind's got to
manifest.
I know why
myself an ideas board. What
I know
them things.
My eldest brother's 10 years old, man. I know why he supports Everton because he was around in that 85 team. You know, he was going the match, and Reedy and Andy Gray and all that. You know, Lineker was around. All these players around this era. Everton were winning leagues, Everton winning cups, Everton winning Europe, and we were flying. I know why he supports them. I know my kids look at me sometimes and think, Dad, what have you done to us? Why?
Yeah, I've told you, my kids say that to me all the time.
It's character building.
That's what else.
I mean, I pass it off as a joke. It is character building. I'm not going to lie, it really is. But I just want the time to say.
Just think of the party we're going to have.
Even when it happens.
Even when it happens.
The party,
it's going to mean...
it will, the life will be a party.
Yeah.
Like, I will never come down from it. And I just feel...
Touch wood, right?
It will
Talk
come
manifesting. Good. I think we're going to win the cup within the next 5 years.
Okay.
How's that?
Is
that bold? Shall I say 3?
If anything, I just want...
I think 5's do. I'd like to go with 3.
I just want to see David Moyes leave a legacy at the club.
No, but Palace just done it.
Look, teams have done it.
I'll tell you now, if we get into Europe, he'll win the European one. I'm telling you, if Everton get European football, I promise you, he'll win that tournament because he knows how to do it. He's got it in the locker. He's done it before, and he can do it again. And let me tell you, he will have a better squad at Everton than he had at West Ham.
If you look at the semi-finals of Europa League and Conference League, Palace 3-1 up after the first. You know, they were. I think, in fact, we're recording this before that, aren't we? Well, Palace probably in the final. We've got Villa or Forest in the final. So we've definitely got a team from the Premier League in each final. Arsenal. I mean, you're looking at it is possible for us English football to feel like it's
dominating
strong in Europe, and it knows how to start handling these games Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, or whatever it is. But I don't think that takes anything away from the FA Cup. I still think traditionally everybody, maybe it's a generational thing, maybe it's people who are our age, who have not been as scarred as you, Tony, that love, that are just nostalgic about the FA Cup. I look and wonder whether my kids are that bothered, because if Everton were in it, 100% they would be. There's going to be a big game. They'd sit down and watch the FA Cup. But when I was a kid, and I'm moving on from being a young kid when I was watching it to 16, 17. And my birthday is in and around FA Cup final every single year. So we always I used to have a big party, people round to our my mum's house back then, and everything was centred around the FA Cup. We'd do a sweep for first goal scorer. We'd do a sweep for goal scored. We'd do, quiz, whatever it might be, and then drink until you can't anymore.
Leon was 12 at this stage. Seasoned alcoholic. By the time he was 14.
You just,
was he?
You just thank you, Tony.
He's not really. I'm just taking the mic, but there are those who don't get me.
But part of the big day, the big occasion on the day, it was a big day that at the start of the year everyone knew fixtures come out. Well, what day's the FA Cup on this year? That means that's the day we'll be having the big end of the season party, and hope that there's things that my kids now, I don't know if, unless our team are in the final, I don't know if they'll sit down and watch it.
Because there's too much available to them now, and it's all available at the end of a finger. Everything's iPads, everything's streamed, everything's available at the touch of a button, and we didn't have it then. And I think a part of me,
that was one of the things,
disappoints me now that the kids don't have that. Like we were talking just before we went live on air about knocking for your mates.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you had a knock at your door? Is he in?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? When was have you got a house phone now?
Yeah, no, we don't.
Do you know what I mean?
No, we don't have a house phone.
It's the world we live in now.
And I have to actually go find, like, when their mates are coming and they'll pick them up either in a car or they'd mates before they drove, they'd wait outside on the end because they'd phone. I'd be like, hey, come say hello.
Yeah.
I have to actually come.
No, like that,
because I want to get to know all the kids' friends because one of the best things that happened is with these parties, my mum and dad know all of my friends brilliantly because they got to know them in over time and in social events. So these are the kind of relationships you get from having an FA Cup party, and you get from having these parties. Whereas now I'm having to, shout me kids' mates to come in and actually introduce themselves to me because I'm not getting to interact with them all. It's
though that's a proper family, and then unfortunately not every kid grows up in that kind of atmosphere, in that environment, which Ossie's very lucky that he did. Fantastic parents, brothers and sisters and stuff like that. I grew up my house was the go-to house when I was younger. So
okay.
I've got the same 10 mates I went to school with, and we're all still in that silly group of
10.
before the
Come on,
establishment.
you not got 10.
No, I haven't. I mean, I've got about 2 or 3 really close friends, and I've got about 10 associates.
Yeah.
You copites know who you are, which one's the associates. But no, I get it, what he's saying. You know, they're knocking for your mates, and, you know, the house phone rings, and I wonder who it is, and are you in? Are we meeting here? Are we going there? The kids are missing out so much on that these days.
Yeah.
They really, really are. But nostalgia and moments like that, and the FA Cup plays a big part in them nostalgic moments when you look back.
Did you have a favourite FA Cup party? Was it like a game that you were watching and a great game, or team you supported won? Or?
It certainly wasn't a winning game, I'll tell you that much.
I remember a few. There was a party when I was, I reckon about 2020, maybe. In fact, yeah, it's got a bit of a story to this one. So when we were 20, at this party, all my friends came round, and it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The game was kicking off at 3 or 4 at that time, so it might have even been 12, and we were all in the garden. And as young kids and 20-year-olds, you know, you start doing stupid things, and we all started. My mum had this big Tupperware thing for spaghetti back then, you know, to put it in. And we were passing that round the group, all pouring drinks, you know, a bit of our own drink into it, and doing like, you know, when it eventually stopped on that person, they had to. There was chicken wings in it. There was ribs. There was vodka. There was whiskey. There was all sorts in it. It stopped on one of my mates, and he had to eat the chicken wings, the ribs.
Oh my God!
Drink the drink, and he had to get his missus to pick him up about 45 minutes later because he couldn't make it. And then later that night, someone brought water balloons around as a present for me. And as we were all sort of sat outside in the garden, just water balloons were hazing down everywhere. This is all the one party. What's the FA Cup? Can't quite remember who it was. That
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You can't remember, to be honest.
Can't remember that particular year. But by the end of the night, someone suggested it'd be good to cut our hair. So we all ended up with a skinhead. Then it became... the razor came out, so we all got our heads what we call bicked.
Oh my
We all
Lord.
got our heads
No
bicked
way.
at the end of the night.
I reckon my mum would kill me if I went to a party, came back like
my
that.
Yeah,
Lord.
it was a really, really good day.
It's
You got a hairstyle?
Well, I woke up the next morning, and so it was probably only about 3 or 4 days later. We were on the pitch at Goodison, getting presented with the Premier League 2, you know, the reserve Premier League back then. And if you look at the picture, you got Andy Oldham Taff holding the trophy up, and you've got me and 2 other lads who were on this picture with absolutely no hair. I look like Cisco because I had a bit of a tan.
Oh my Lord.
And because I did take the thing off the top of my head, scalp was white. And I'm on this Everton reserve picture forever with 3, I think 2 or 3 of us looking like an absolute imbecile.
Looking like Lee Carsley's love child.
Yeah, I'd take that.
What's your favourite FA Cup memory personally when you were playing?
I'd love to say an FA Cup final that, you know, we got to lift the trophy up at. But the best feeling I had in the FA Cup was when we won the penalties in the semi-final against Manchester United. And it was an anticlimax, really, if I'm being completely honest, because I personally don't think the semi-finals should be at Wembley.
I made up you said that. So
that might have changed for this generation of players who just think that's what it is, but that's not how we grew up. There was always a neutral venue, wasn't there? Villa Park, Old Trafford,
White
City,
Hart Lane.
Highbury, you know, wherever it might be, dotted around the country. So mentally, when we got to that big moment, we played this big game, which was the semi-final, but it was a huge knockout game at Wembley. To me, that sort of, it kind of felt a bit like the final because I'd always imagined myself getting to Wembley playing
in the final,
playing a team like that, and then winning. So we did celebrate it, and you know, it felt like we sort of should have been parading a trophy round after that at the end of that game, but you didn't. You just
Felt
knew
like
you had
it
to
to
come
us
back
as well.
and do it again. It was a strange feeling, and I put that down to the fact that I grew up going or watching FA Cups in neutral venues, and then to have got to a semi-final at Wembley, it felt like mentally, I think it was
Had that have been on a neutral venue, do you think you would have just went, right, lads, done, job done, off we went? There would have been no celebrations. Obviously, you'd go and clap the fans, but there wouldn't have been a celebration like there was after that game.
No, I think there would have been a celebration. I really do think there would have been a good celebration in the same ilk as we celebrated that. But the different environment, the different venue would have made you realise that
it is a semi.
That it was a step rather than.
I
don't know. I just mentally felt like we've just celebrated ridiculously at Wembley. You sort of feel like you feel like you should take a trophy home for that, and it feels strange. It's a strange sort of feeling.
Yeah, because Everton hadn't really had that level of success in that time either. You know, did that make it feel a bit?
We got to a semi-final the year before in the Carabao. It wasn't called that back then. We'd lost over two
Chelsea?
legs. We lost over 2 legs to Chelsea, and they were our nemesis at that point. You know, they had all of their ridiculous players. Joe Cole scored, I think, at Goodison to beat us 1-0 in the second leg. But yeah, we I can't even remember your question now. What was your question?
Because Everton hadn't really had loads of success.
So we'd had that one the year before, but
make it
we hadn't been to Wembley, I don't think, since 1995, had we? So it did sort of feel. It felt a bit strange off the back of that. We kind of made it over the next 8 years or so. We got to Wembley 2 or 3 times. We were getting to the semi-finals of the other cup as well. We were getting close. We were getting better, but couldn't quite get over the line.
See how you feel about the cup and how you resonate with it in the past and the history through it. Does that cross over because it's such a global? The FA Cup's global. The whole world knows about the FA Cup. Did it resonate that way with the foreign lads?
Yeah.
Or was they just like, this is another game, we don't even get it?
I would say the majority of players that came from overseas really understood the FA Cup. There was 1 or 2 that definitely didn't want to play in the early rounds because they didn't, they might be playing against a Macclesfield just because we brought that team up, and they weren't always mentally into playing in those games. I don't know if they felt they were better. There were some players that used to get injured all the time for them games, or really? Try and sit them out. Joe Yobo was the worst for it. Joseph Yobo.
So he'd just say, I feel tight, or I feel something,
back or something, or he'd be happy that he wasn't playing. In those early rounds, always wanted to play in the bigger games. Yeah. We're always there as we got further on, or say it was Man United in the third round, you play, but didn't always fancy playing in the other games in that way. But I loved all of them. I just loved going to.
People speak about Duncan like that. He's always around for the big games. He always wants to play in the big games, but the lesser games, it's hard. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying anything about Duncan.
yeah.
No, but they do. People say that.
I'm just telling you, if he's listening to this, I didn't say anything.
Duncan's my mate, and I love Duncan. I'm his biggest fan, but that's what they always. That was what fans used to whinge about. Well, we want him in against Sunderland, or you want him to play against this guy. Whereas when it was United, Duncan had limp on the pitch.
Look,
when it was Liverpool, Duncan's limping on the pitch.
Dunk had a natural way of being able to get more out of himself in the bigger games, whether that was focus, anger, determination. If he played in other games and someone had rile him up in the way you talk about Erling Haaland at the minute. If you play in other games, if someone stood on his Achilles or riled him up and he was like, whoa, you want a bit? Then you'd get more out of him.
Yeah.
Out of him in them senses, but I would never say he didn't try hard in all the games.
I think he tries, but it's actually being.
I also think as well, when he was playing against some of the better defenders, they were probably not used to the physicality that he could bring, whereas the lesser so-called defenders,
they probably like the battle.
Probably that's
the number of appearances he actually has for the time that he spent at Everton. He's our cult hero. He's everyone's hero at Everton, but the actual appearances that he's got is not as many as others, but he has that cult hero status because he gets us. He's one of us. But yeah, that's what it's the other players that come across.
Big moments, didn't he?
Yeah. Massive moments. The United on Wednesday night, the header. It comes to mind the Liverpool games. He's always terrorising defenders. I don't know. Is it playing that role? Is it physically so damaging that he just can't play enough games? Like he is injured. He feels the knock because he is getting walloped every week.
I think his style of game was explosive in every way. So whether he's jumping or he's fighting or everything is it for very short spell, half a second, just literally everything his body can give him in these half a second moments. So he was going to be susceptible to injuries in an explosive manner. I think, like I'd always say myself, I think he's from a generation that probably look back and think, myself included, probably could have looked after ourselves a little bit better there. We probably could have. You see the generations as developed. I'm not just talking about not going out drinking of a weekend or not this. I'm talking about prehab and working before and yoga and all of this kind of stuff that actually probably helps your body getting into shape and playing longer term. That certainly would have gone against him, but he had some big injuries.
And you got
that scar on his calf is a joke.
Yeah. And you got the likes of Louis King, who I thought was so talented. I mean, wow, what a footballer he was. I mean, he just knew where the net was. He could do everything. But it's like he had to be 100% to be on the pitch. He had to not be feeling a single thing. I used to see him in training, and I'd see him come in the dressing room afterwards, and I'd be chatting with him. And I'd feel this a little bit, and I'd feel that, whereas he'd be feeling every single thing possible, and it's an automatic reaction to go on. That's not a knock. That's just every player is different. It's like Daniel Sturridge at Liverpool, isn't it? Yeah,
I think I was probably fully fit with nothing to whinge or moan about 10 times in my whole career.
See what I mean?
And I'd argue that of those 10 times, 7 or 8 of them were my worst games. Honestly, it's weird because you're now just going over things too much in your head, or you might prepare too much, or whatever it might be. Whereas sometimes you need to be sort of concentrating and just nurse my ankle through this. I'll get it, and then you get into the game, you forget about that, and you've not overthought anything, and you go and sometimes.
It's similar in boxing. It's similar in boxing.
Is it?
Yeah, every fighter's injured when they get in the ring. Every single fighter.
I'm not surprised because the amount of trauma. Again, I've just talked about Big Dunk. The amount of explosive sort of movements you have to do, it doesn't surprise me that
well, for footballers, I just feel it's difficult. Like it's so, I said, Louis Arthur's always been the one I thought, wow, I thought, what a football. He's been at United, he's won things, he's done that, and I used to always be thinking every week, if he's on the pitch this week, we've really got a chance against anyone, but there was just so little he was on the pitch for us.
Talking about that final, he scores in the first minute.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that day.
Brilliant build up. Looked forward to it. I remember feeling quite nervous going into it.
Was you?
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Did you get nervous for any other games?
A few, yeah. I mean, I always think you should be getting a little bit nervous. I'm not saying...
Was you nervous for every derby?
A little bit, but excited as well.
Okay.
So I did get more nervous for the FA Cup, I think, than for another game at the derby. It's got the feel of it could be a one-off thing for you, and you know... history could be written completely different off that one game, and I knew the size of the game, so I was a bit nervous in the morning.
What did the nerves do to you? Did you feel like they made you sharp, or did you feel like they drained a little bit of energy out of you?
Drained a little bit of energy over the whole course of my career. No, over the course of my career, I'd say too many nerves would take a bit of your energy from you rather than. But I don't think you should ever go into a game without some sort of little bit of nerves and excitement, and it shouldn't just feel normal or monotonous. It should, you've got a purpose. You're a bit excited about to go out and achieve, or go out and win, or you're looking forward to the game.
Because as fans,
you've got to be feeling something.
As fans, I think it's mad that you do it Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday every week, and I just feel, how are you nervous?
I'll tell you this, but I'll tell you this: I get more nervous now as a fan than I do when I played.
Oh, really?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Way more nervous now as a fan.
I'm happy you've said that.
You can't affect the game now.
True,
was when you were playing, you knew, right, I know I'm feeling nervous, but I know what I'm going to do. I know where I'm going to go. So the morning of that game, a little bit more nervous than usual, but I just went for a walk around the hotel, listening to music, just chilling out. It went quite well, but the issue was how hot it was. I think it was the hottest day of the year.
It was roasting that day.
And I do not operate well in the heat. I really don't. My body just doesn't handle it well running wise. There was a game we played at home to Newcastle, end of the season, roughly around about 2008, 9, 10, something like that. And it was red hot in the first half, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was struggling. I think we might have even been getting beat 1-0 by Newcastle. Something, I'm wrong with the way the scoring went, but this was the game. And then we went in at half time, and during half time, it thunder and lightning. And we came back out and it was 10 degrees cooler. Suddenly everything felt dead easy. I was running around. I think I was involved in 2 of the 3 goals and we won 3-1 and it felt... So that's just the difference in a half of football. That was the second half. I felt better because it was... So it gets to the game. Ashley Cole, I'm up against, who I've told you before, is my toughest ever opponent. I'm playing against him in million-degree heat. And then they also put the fires on to sort of welcome him. Coming onto the pitch... I was like,
let's just set them on fire as well.
Yeah, so... And then the best 25 seconds, was it? The best 25 seconds at Wembley, because I hadn't touched the ball by the time we scored. So it really influenced the game. And then, it just felt a little bit...
Do you know when you're saying you were so nervous and then we score so early? What did that do to your nerves then? Did it settle it? Or did you think, we've got a task on our hands? Or Felt good. To be honest, I haven't scored in that moment.
Didn't to us. I knew. We just knew.
Yeah.
We were sitting
You then realise the size of the task and how long we're now going to, probably be defending for it. Kicked them into life. But, yeah, that just meant that Ashley Cole then went played left wing, which meant I played, right back sweeper.
Do you know when you say, I know everyone speaks so highly of him and you said he's your toughest opponent you played against. What is it that... Because I don't have great memories of him being so prolific going forward. I have memories of him. No one was beating him. You couldn't beat him. You just couldn't get past him or around him. Even Ronaldo couldn't get past him or around him. He just dominated.
Them too,
You know what I mean? He just he held you in your place. But I don't remember him getting forward and banging a great. I know he did.
He scored some goals.
Yeah, he
did. He played for Arsenal and Chelsea. Showed that he was prepared to make that move as well to play and carry on and win things. He was involved in 2 of the best teams the Premier League's ever seen. He was quick, sharp, intelligent, could jump, enjoyed the game, could run all day. He just had a little bit
good
of
looking as well. Jamie Bastard. Probably had a 12-inch piece as well on. You know what I mean? Just top it all off. Okay, no.
So it was a tough day for me anyway.
Yeah. What went wrong in the game then after that? So we obviously score early and then but what minute of the game was it? 20?
When they scored to equalise.
Yeah.
I can't remember the minute. Do you know what? I've never been able to watch it back.
Oh really?
No, I've never seen a minute of it back. So I'm going off first memory. Malouda at first, I think.
Yeah, was.
And then, did Malouda put the cross in?
I think Malouda put the cross into Drogba.
It was Drogba who scored the goal.
I think so, yeah.
Off that left-hand side then. But
trying to think who was. I was on the left-hand side of the pitch, so I was up the end where King scored, and I was on the... But something's telling me it was Drogba running away, doing that silly thing.
So I just turned away in disgust. I don't even remember who properly scored it. Look, we needed to have our best players, and we needed to be able to outwork them. Really, because of the quality that they were. It was hard to outwork them because of the heat, and we were missing Jags, Arteta.
Big misses.
That is big loss.
Jags is massive.
Even Victor Anichibi was out for the game. In all injuries. I think the Yak was already out. If we still had him at that point, so we were missing some big players, and our squad managed. But
do you know when you go into a game like that and you look at obviously, listen, they've got better quality. They've spent a fortune. Roman Abramovich literally buying everyone up. The league's done and stuff like that. You go into a game that you go, okay, listen, they've got a top quality players and they've got a brilliant squad, and you go, we kind of need these to have an off day.
Depends how you're looking at that. For opposition teams to have an off day, you kind of have to force that issue. Yeah, you have to force that issue. It's very rare you just turn up and don't do anything particular and the opposition just play badly. You've got to tactically do something.
Do you go out and you kick Frank Lampard? You get under the skin, or you send every team has that little horror, don't they? And you want that little horror in your team. We've seen it on the other side of the city who they had for years, but I struggle to think of an Everton player we've had who's a little horror, a little rat bag who just kicks people and annoys people, but he doesn't get sent off it. You don't need to get sent off it. You just that little horror who's had everything, and then he's always the one at the referees reffing the game and stuff like that.
I did the refereeing part. We had people like Tim Cahill was good at that, kicking people off the ball,
annoying people,
and getting under people's skin.
People.
Yeah, he was not just a good player. He was good at that.
Done the dirty bits, done the hard graft
in a good way.
Yeah,
he was good at that. He was good at that side of it, and he liked it. He liked to take the battle to people. Yeah. We.
Who did you play against? Who you found was that person? Like, who was the worst for it? Give you a pinch, give you a little kick, say things in your ear. What player done that to you? Must have been one who was a horror.
I can't think off the top of my head.
Did you ever leave a picture and think he's horrible, him?
I hate him.
I don't like him at all.
No, don't like him.
No, I know, but he's there to...
I respected
just on the pitch.
No,
I respected that kind
but
of thing.
Who set about you to get, like, to...
No one was coming after me,
Of course, but you don't play that many games in the Premier League and go... he was always horrible. Like, he was. It might not have been just to you, but you see how he is to others. So who was the Tims? You seen Tim do that for us? You're saying Tim used to pinch them, bite, kick them, do little nasty. Who was the one who you seen? Maybe not to you, but you seen doing it every time you played against him or you was on a pitch with him.
You talk about the ones that annoy people, on purpose and try and do it. Bellamy was good at that.
I can imagine that.
See, he comes to
in a good.
It just makes
in a good way.
Yeah, good on him.
He once told me on the pitch that. He said, "What's your manager like?" We were down playing. I'm sure it was West Ham. I was like, "Yeah, he sound." He was like, "I think he spoke to me. I was thinking about coming and speaking to you, but he looks like a right bellend, so I'm not going to side to you." And I was thinking, he's all right, you know. Come side for us. He was like, "Nah, I'm going to leave that one, mate." And I was like, "Oh, nah, I'm not that bothered."
I just think every team you want that little horror. That little horror.
I think so, yeah.
Because I think the first name I always think of is Suarez. Another name I think of
type,
is Diego Costa. Players who are nasty.
SCM was a little bit nasty under.
Was he? That shocked me because
twice.
I was with him at Soccer Aid and he seemed like a lovely fella.
Well, yeah, but
he's not going to mess with you, is he?
There's a difference between being how you are on and off the pitch, and that's classes off the pitch in terms of not really what's around it to win the game. He'd stand on my toes and. He'd done me twice in tackles, but again, I don't see this as a bad thing. I see this as part of the game, and I've got a lot of respect. I wish I could have done it more myself, because it's important to try and throw the opposition off in that way, and
of course,
and try and win any way you can.
I just think every team should have one that little fella who just annoys people.
That's one of the reasons why. But you look at Chelsea's squad back then. Don't want to compare them to now; it's night and day, but. You look at why they were winning FA Cups near enough every single year. What did Chelsea won it in? Obviously 09 with us. I think they might have won it a year later. They got to the final and beat Liverpool Cup in 2012. Chelsea were going through it right because they had people that would do all that nasty horrible work as well as having the ridiculous talent on top, and that was. And
then you forget about the most important thing: the man on the sideline. That what he demands from you. Jose Mourinho is the master of it all. Because he's at you. He's at the players. He's at the players on the other team. He's at the other manager. He's at the referee. He's at everyone. And I think he makes you go into battle for him. And you're like, I could only imagine dreaming of someone like Jose Mourinho being your manager. You'd want to run through a brick wall for him.
That first time he was at Chelsea, that's the way they speak about him, isn't it? Yeah. With John Terry and that, talking about how he sort of propelled them to the next level and how he made them feel. And I think that was probably... Well, maybe he would argue with this because of his success at Inter Milan and Real Madrid, but that seemed like the pinnacle of his managerial career. He's still going now. There's even talk of him being back at Real Madrid.
Yeah, there's Madrid
again next season. They're talking
about
that. So it shows that he's still got the hunger and people still believe in him. But he's been a quality manager. But
what a manager!
Gus Hiddink was the manager the day they beat us in that final, though. Yeah, they'd had a tough season up till that point, or early in the season, and he came in and really got them sort of back playing, and they still finished the season with a trophy.
He's another one who's won the lot, Gus Hiddink, isn't he? He's won an awful lot of trophies over the years. I think imagine Chelsea then trying to compete now with the financial fair play and stuff. They wouldn't have even competed. They'd have been thrown out. They'd be in League One. That's why I think football's unfair to me. I don't like this financial fair play thing. If you've got it and you can purposely put in place, like Newcastle should be well allowed to buy whoever they want. I think it's wrong.
Oh, it's mad that timing has dictated that kind of thing because Chelsea and less so Man City.
United.
They've had a few issues, obviously. But you go back to Walker, who took over Blackburn. Jack Walker, who took over Blackburn. And you look at the success that they had off the back of him investing a hell of a lot of money. You look at the success Chelsea's had, and then you look at the teams now that have got money that aren't able to invest.
Did what happened to Bury scare the Premier League?
Definitely, and the way that a football club could be run into the ground, and you have to pass this fair and proper person's test, and you're supposed to be able to, FFP is about sustaining the club. If the owners were to walk away tomorrow, can the club be sustained? Are they financially okay that the owner hasn't took a huge debt out against them or done this that the club will go under in a moment? So I understand the logic behind it, but at the same time, you're stopping. How are Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton ever going to be able to get themselves into a fair fight with
Arsenal, City,
with these top clubs that have
Liverpool,
that have got this global financial following because of the timing that they got their money and the timing they got their owner? How is anyone ever going to catch them up without by just going through the normal ways?
They're not us. They're not, and that's what's not fair because we've got now a consortium in control of our club who are proper businessmen. They know how to run football clubs. They've got other football clubs besides Everton. They're a global organisation, the Freakton Group, and I just feel you cannot catch that big four. You can't do it. I'm sorry. Leicester shown freaky things can happen, but ultimately it cannot be sustained. It's actually impossible.
It should happen more in football, really, shouldn't it? Like the surprise stories that it just doesn't happen.
But I don't think in our lifetime again we'll see what Leicester done. I think it's a one-off generation thing. I don't think you'll see another team do that ever again.
Everything fell into place, didn't it, that year? As in all the other teams having a transitional year or a poor year, and the points that they won would only win the Premier League one or two times, other in the 10 or 15 years either side of it. So. Yeah, I understand it. That it probably won't happen again, but we have to dream. We have to hope.
We do.
Other teams, other than the top guys, they have to dream that. But that's why the FA Cup, the domestic cup competitions are so important, because they are actual opportunities. If you get a good run, if things go your way, if other teams, for want of a better term, get themselves knocked out because of priorities or whatever it might be, just poor performances, you've got to think, well, if we get into a position now that you could go, we should have at least got to the final, maybe even won it in 2013. Yeah, 2013 when Wigan won it. Wigan beat us in that quarterfinals, and City were hoping that we got knocked out because we had a little hoodoo on going on City at that point. We were able to give them a right good game, beat them as often as they would beat us. And that was the big one for us. We should have
beat Wigan.
Nuts.
They went down. They went down that year, didn't they, and won it?
Wigan, yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? It's just frightening.
Be interested to know Wigan fans, and I think the answer is they'd do it all again. I think they would wanted to win the FA Cup rather than stay in the Premier League. My
mates say that to me. Once again, I'll bring these donuts up, but they say, would you go down and take one in the FA Cup? Like, absolutely not, no.
No, I'm the same.
For us, no, because of the stature of the club and what we are. But Wigan, no disrespect to Wigan, it's a town very close to home. But Wigan were probably never going to sustain Premier League survival for 30 years. They were not that kind of club. They'd done well to get in the Premier League and were probably on borrowed time with regards to the size of the club, the fan base. What league are they in now? I think they're in League One at the minute.
I can't even.
So to win the FA Cup, is a huge memory, a great day out for all of those that were there. They can now say they've won.
They had 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, but they were never going to.
The thought of playing in the Championship. There's a possible chance I could walk away from football forever. I cannot envision the thought of going in that, because I will just say straight up now, that is the hardest league in the world. That is the most competitive division in the world.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it's a joke.
Villa went down, came back up. Newcastle went down, came back up. West Ham keep on going down and keep on coming back up.
They don't all come bounce back straight away, though.
Not straight away, but I'm saying they will eventually, because of the size of the club, find their way back up. Whereas for Wigan, they were up here for a short spell and probably for the first time in their history got to a cup final. So to win it...
Good stadium as well. So it doesn't just show you the stadium's going to bounce you back up.
No.
The Championship is so hard.
Look at Leicester.
Mate. Mate.
Mate.
Mate. Do you know what I mean? They're in League One. I mean, they won the Premiership. What year
10
did they
years
win?
ago.
Oh, my Lord. I mean, just stop
And
it.
they won the FA Cup after that.
Oh, my God. Just...
Yeah. Well, talking about the FA Cup, let's fast forward to the present day. Got Chelsea versus City in the final. Have Chelsea got what it takes to overturn City, or is
Nope.
this City's?
No. Look, on a day, anyone's got a chance. What would you call it? A puncher's chance, a fighting chance. There's a swinger's chance.
Just nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
But
They're not better than any part
you
of
look
the
at both
pitch.
teams at the minute, and you see Chelsea are moving backwards at the moment. They're really struggling.
Yeah.
I look at the core of the team and the quality. Just
Really felt for Liam Rosenior.
yeah, oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going into a dressing room with some big egos there. Big egos. I mean, you've got that Garnacho. He doesn't look like the easiest to deal with. And then you've got a few other players. You've got the likes of that Enzo coming out saying, I like the look of Madrid. And that. You just cool your jets, lads. And then you need a manager who demands respect.
On top of all of that, though, at the moment they put him in, the players were already saying Maresca was hard done by, and we like Maresca, and he was doing nothing wrong. And part of me saying,
Fighting
well,
a losing battle.
Part of me saying, well, if that was the case, why were you slipping? Why were you doing bad? Why did they feel they need to get the manager gone? And the other side of that is, well, so what? Work hard for your new manager. Don't look like you're upset that the old manager's gone and now you're not working as hard.
I struggle with. Forget the manager. Play for yourself, lad.
Yeah, definitely.
Play for yourself. Have a bit of pride. Have a bit of pride and go out and fight for fight. Run like your life depends on it. Give everything you've got for every tackle, every sprint, just do it for yourself. Forget the manager. Just do it for yourself. Have some pride about yourself.
That might be a good speech for them to hear. Maybe you should go in
Get
the
him in the
dressing
dressing
room. Maybe you should go in the dressing room, be City. And
I know, but it's just I struggle at times because I've witnessed it at my own club when lads go out, and I've seen, mate, there was a spell at our place when the gaffer left, and I just watch it change, and it's just the relationship these had between themselves when I first went in there and seen how they all was. It was like a family. I'm not joking. It was like a family. They were like brothers. They tore the back out of each other. They fought for each other. They played together. They just done everything. They were just one big family. And when he went, that core remained for the first year. And as soon as not even the whole of the first year, I felt like when we got to about March, April, I felt like it started to break. And I just thought, oh, this is a bit of a different place now. This fella's trying to put a stamp on things a little bit, and I just feel, oh, this is getting different. And then before you knew it, he's out. It's a bit of time, but he's out the door.
comparisons to Liverpool.
Faces coming in and out. Because he definitely got. When Bobby first comes in, Roberto Martinez first comes in, I don't care what anyone says, you get up the stats, and all that nonsense with the spreadsheets. He had David Moyes' regime and fitness, and it's like he just let them off the leash a bit more. And I think that's what it was. But then when you started getting to March, I think we had more hamstring injuries in the space of 6 months than what David Moyes had in the previous 6 years. And I remember speaking to lads like Silva, I was going to Silva, what's going on? And he just said, we're not doing enough fitness work. He said, we're not as fit as we was. And I was like, he's training every day. And he's like, Tony, it's just different types. And I was like, then it made me realise, and as managers changed and years went by, I just watched it change gradually. And it's just a different, football's a different game now. I think senior players are at a minimal number now. I don't think there's no seniority in squads. There's no senior players in dressing rooms. It's kids running kids. These were in the dressing room, and then these would feel no way to tell. And young Ross Barkley, hey you. I think
what makes it easy is, I think, just to talk about Everton in the comparison and look around with the Premier League is now, look at a Chelsea maybe, that when David Moyes was signing players like Arteta, Cahill, Lescott, Jagielka, the list could go on.
Stonesy.
Sylvan, Stonesy, all these people. It was with, come here, make Everton successful, make yourself successful. And then speaking to players that were working under Roberto for Everton, like Lukaku, he was telling me, Roberto's told me to come here, play well for a year or two, and then I can go to a bigger club.
Yeah.
And it's a stepping stone for me. And there was a couple of players that I spoke to that had said that, and I was like, wow, I'm fire. That's never been the mentality. And if that's if the mentality of a football club isn't to come in here and be a part of making this club successful, then there's no one. It's tough to hold people accountable, because they're thinking, well, I'll be out the door soon, and I'm not planning on staying for too long. I won't be there. I'm not that. It's, if things don't work out, there's next year. Whereas that's not the mentality a football club should have. Chelsea players shouldn't be thinking, I'll go in there and I'll do well, and then I'll get me Enzo Fernandez, then I'll get me moved to Real Madrid. There'll be other players in that team thinking, because Chelsea have become a team that are buying so many young players at the moment. I mean, and they're probably doing it, Todd Bowley and that, as a business, and buy these young players. They might go on and spin. They might grow together, but they'll probably be worth more in 10 or 15, 5 years' time, whatever it might be. But actually, the mentality now is within that squad that they won't be there that long. I'll be going soon. So there's no core that are actually making that team a real sort of long-term project.
And the saddest part of what he's just said there, I've now as a fan become to expect. It's only since David Moyes has come back home that I'm not accepting that no more. I feel like we're going to grow and we're going to get better. But for the last 10 years, or however long it's been since he's been away, I've seen them lads in them dressing rooms, and I've seen them lads in and amongst the club, and I'm like, I understand why you've come here. You've come here and here's how sad it is. I'm at peace with that now, because when you sign the likes of Keenan Dewsbury all, and you go, he weren't playing for Chelsea, he weren't getting enough game time, and he's come to Everton, I'm like, okay, you might not see Everton as your permanent home, and you might want to play football, but here's how bad it is. I'm happy with that, because if you do well while you're at us, that means we're going to do well. I'm not really interested. I don't see any future now that he's back. I do, but before he come home, I didn't see any future.
It can't be that, and it has to be known that if within a squad of players that, for instance, if you get, we were growing as a team and we were getting better as a team, and then, for instance, Man City came and said to Joleon Lescott, we want you to come here and help us win titles. If that happens, that's part of the process. It was unexpected. It was an opportunity to go and win titles. John Stones as well, in terms, but you have to do that because you actually felt that this was your home and you wanted this to work. You can't be doing it as a stepping stone already, because it's natural. You can't say you're never going to leave. If Keenan Dewsbury has come in now and is excellent for 4 years, and then say Man United, who are now on the brink of winning titles, go, you're the last key for us. It's hard to stop.
I get that.
Everton will have done really well for that to happen.
And I get that, but I only think it should be happening to us now if one of the title contenders are coming. If you're Liverpool, look, well, no, not them, and regardless, you don't believe in for them. I'm just going to let you know, I'm looking right in the camera. Don't be leaving for them. When you hear it, don't leave for them. Don't do it. If City come calling, if Arsenal come calling, I get it. I've always known, and King told me this many years ago, I was in the ice bath at Finch Farm, sitting there about up to my neck, and he's just looking at me, shaking his head as usual.
Up to his neck, by the way, in an ice bath. It was disgusting.
He's talking to me, and I
disgusting
said to him, he said, Tony, you do know that all the players, and I know he's only speaking about the players from the foreign perspective, because they're not, well, he might even speak about us, don't know, but he said they all want to live in London. He said, we can live a normal life there, He said, I can't go to town, I can't do this, I can't do that when I'm playing for Everton. He said, when I was at United, the same, we can't do it. He said, but in London, you can just go out and be left alone, and we just go under the radar. And it's always sat with me. So when London clubs come calling, I get it.
Club calling?
Yeah, club calling. When London clubs come calling, I get it. But really, it's only Arsenal and Chelsea. I mean, Spurs are no better off than us. I think it's actually more toxic place than us.
You've got a proper love-in for Spurs this last
No, I don't. I don't think Spurs is a bigger calling than us. And it's a bit of a mess from upstairs with them. But I also look at the same with United. I think theirs is a bit of a mess as well. I don't think they know what they're doing. I think the only clubs that are really attractive is Arsenal's really attractive. It's well run. You know what you get when you go there. You know who's the boss. You know he's going to be there for a period of time.
Bad thing is, though, players don't seem to want to go out as much as they used to.
No, it's a different environment.
So London shouldn't be as big a pull in those terms.
But they do want to go out, or they want to be out, and
they want to go for meals.
Social media now is such a prevalent part of football and the lifestyles that they lead, and everyone's just got a camera phone at the minute someone walks anywhere. You're getting video pictured. Everyone's a journalist these days because, there's him.
How are you going out in town? Liverpool?
I'm no one. I'm a punchy boxer from fucking...
You get recognised.
No, of course, but no one's... very rarely someone on video, man. And when they do video, they go, "What's up with you, you weirdo?" I just literally say, what are you doing? Like, you video me, why? And it's happened about 3 or 4 times, and they're like, "Oh, he's there, look, let's video." I'm just like, you crackpot, what are you doing? So, but for you, like, as I've said this before and I'll say it again, our country is governed by football. Our country, it's what makes our country go round. Football, Premier League football, is the biggest thing in the country by a mile. Nothing even comes close from the way it's covered, the players that are covered. Like, Jack Grealish has probably got to be one of the most famous men in the country. He's just a footballer and he's just a normal lad, but they want to follow him everywhere, pictures and videos of him on holiday having a bevy. Just leave. Why? Like, he's just a normal fella who's good at kicking a ball. But this is what football's now become, and this is why I say everyone being the journalist. If he was in, well, no, it's a bit different for Jack because of who he is and what he's done. But these players wanting to live in London, I think that's the problem.
I'll tell you about Jack very quickly. Is the negatives around him are reported a lot more quickly. In fact, this isn't just Jack.
Than the positives.
This is general across. They're reported a lot more than the positives. All the work he's doing for the disabled Olympics and all of that he's been doing. He's signed up for another few years. Won't get reported half as much as him falling asleep in an afternoon while he's on holiday.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
having a couple of bevies.
I understand that scrutiny, does it?
It's wrong, innit? But then I also think the same thing's happened to Raheem Sterling, buying his mum a house and the way they report on it and things like that, and buying his mum a car or whatever. The way it as if he's like being a Charlie big bollocks when he's not. He bought his mum a car. He's bought whatever he's done. So I think certain players get certain scrutiny at certain times. But if Raheem Sterling was to be caught doing what Jack done, I don't think it'd be done anywhere near as much. And when Jack does what Raheem does, it's not even reported in the slightest. So it's just that it's the narrative, whichever narrative the paper want to go with. But I think we're moving away more now from. I think the journalists have become irrelevant. If I'm being sorry, I think papers have become irrelevant
because of social media.
Exactly, because everyone's a journalist now. So the journalists are missing out on it because everyone's got a phone, get it out, and I'll just post it on social media myself. And that's the worrying time that you're living in. But as I say, for footballers going forward, I just feel it's very, very difficult. I mean, I don't know how we've got to this from an FA Cup weekend, but
I know. I was just going to take us back to FA Cup because we started by talking about Chelsea and City. I just can't see City not winning this game. I really can't. And honestly, there must be favourites now to be winning the domestic treble.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the domestic treble. I'm not sure about the domestic treble, but because I think there's a lot to do in that league.
Yeah,
I think so. But the cup, I think they're doing. Obviously, they've got one cup down. I think they'll do the double.
Pep has done brilliantly, but I think I touched on it before. With just his desire to keep on winning the FA Cup.
Does he leave if he does the treble? Does he call it a day?
Yeah, I think he probably does. Then, yeah.
What makes you say that? Because I don't.
I've been saying he'd stay for the majority of the season because I just didn't think they would find themselves in this position come the end of the season, and yet, they could end up winning another treble, which he's done before. I don't know how often a domestic treble's been done. I know he's already done one himself, but what else is there for him to do if he's just feeling a little bit tired or he's feeling a little bit off it? I do think his squad will be better next year.
I just think, where does he go?
I think he has a break for a bit, maybe.
The national team.
I think he wants to go watch Stockport play. He loves watching Stockport play.
I'd love to know what he's going to do because I think he's got every right to hold his hand up and just go, "I'm the greatest manager ever." Everywhere I've gone, I've changed football. Everywhere I've gone.
Yeah, it's been relentless for him though, hasn't it? Every season, right to the top of the league.
And the way when you speak to people, like speaking to Stonesy a year ago or so, properly about it, just saying the intensity that he makes them train at, that every day is done at, that must take its toll on him after a while. That must be That must be hard for him to constantly
Mustn't have much of a
maintain that.
personal life. Must be hard for him. Mustn't have much of it, because I think
He's a golfer, though. He's a good golfer.
I've heard. I'm not playing against him anytime soon. He's just immersed in football.
You won't even play against me anymore.
No, you're a bandit. That's why. It's just, I don't know. I think he'll stay because I think he's so comfortable, and I think, you know, the biggest factor why I think he stays, he'll struggle, and this is a big statement, he'll struggle to have the control he has at City anywhere else when he moves. You won't have that amount of control. I think football's just going in a different path now. I think, you know, this head coach role is kicking in more and more. He will not have the control. If he goes somewhere else, he's not going to be implement the ground rules that he implements at City.
I know what you're saying, but how can any club take Pep Guardiola in and not letting him? Letting him be who he needs to do.
If they're doing it to Carlo Ancelotti, they can do it to Pep Guardiola. If they're doing it to Arne Slot coming in winning the league in his first season, they'll do it to him. I just think it's where he goes. He'd have to go to a lesser league, maybe a PSG. Well, Luis Enrique's doing fantastic there. He'd have to go, I think, to a lesser league to be able to demand he's in control of everything. There's not another Premier League club that would allow him to come in and take control of the infrastructure of the club. That's what he's done at City.
Yeah,
everything goes through him. Name me another club.
Built to that.
Who's another club?
I'm thinking more along the lines of what's left for him. Does he go into international management? Does he think, well, there's two leagues I've not managed in, I'll go manage in Italy for a bit, pick one of the best teams there and go be successful? Does he wait then until Luis Enrique's finished at PSG and then go in after him and say, well, let's do France? He's not going to manage anyone else other than PSG.
I just think once Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola leave, I think that's the last you'll see of a manager who's in control of a football club, of the whole infrastructure of a football club. I just think this head coach thing now is so prevalent, it is so relevant in the game, and I just think we're not getting away from it. Football now, in my opinion, is just going to go more and more like the NFL.
Oh, I love the NFL. Talk all day about the NFL.
These directors of football that are running the shows and managers and answer, like, I don't agree with it, but it's just where football is, and owners now are looking more to, I mean, who's in control of in this current system? Who's the boss, the director of football or the manager?
The manager picks the team.
Yeah.
The director of football
tells me we can have. So,
yeah, kind of.
So who's really picking the team?
Yeah.
That's me worry.
But then how many managers, how many old school managers are going to want to keep managing in that? You are going to get, as you were just touching on there then, a whole new generation of managers who know that they are just responsible for picking the team. But,
like Liam Rosenior. And look at how he's had to suffer for it.
That can only be sustained for so long. When you start looking at...
But that's the model now.
When you then start comparing it to Pep, who will get control over signings and control over this, and then bringing success with it. So people like Liam Rosenior, you've just said, will be sort of warning signs for clubs and other managers that's...
Do you think Pep...
It's difficult for you to sit in the background and not give the manager the full support and expect them to be successful.
Mikel Arteta took years to get full control of Arsenal. Years. And he's had to get rid of certain directors of football, things like that, like Edu and stuff like that. If you was to say to Pep now, Pep leaves and he goes away for, let's just say, he has a year out, and he comes back and he goes, right, I'm going to go to Manchester United. Do you believe Manchester United would just go to Pep, do what you want? You're in control of everything, because I don't.
I don't think any club goes, here you go, do what you want straight away. But as
City
you just talked with Mikel Arteta and people, you sort of get yourself in, you make your footsteps, and then you gradually, you gain your control gradually.
But City did straight away with him. He went to City, everything was doing, he got his way, done everything he wanted.
They still had the people in the hierarchy, but they
just let him do what he wants.
Yeah, okay. And they got success from it.
Exactly, but that's my worry is, why are they all moving away from that model? Because it's shown with the right manager given the right amount of time, and not every season's been a wonder season for Pep. Last season weren't great.
No? Didn't they win the title?
Last season?
No, Liverpool won the title. They were rubbish last season.
So that's what I'm saying. Last season weren't great, and it shows. Stick with him, because look what he's done this season. But they're so quick and so fast to fire managers, and I'm just like, there's your man. Let him be. David Moyes is a perfect example. Give the man control. He's shown you what he can do.
It is crazy that Chelsea are now in an FA Cup final with an interim manager. That Surely that shouldn't be the case.
It's
Getting cup
madness.
finals with people who aren't even fully.
Listen, why did they sack Maresca? The players come out crying, whinging after. I know it's all well saying now, but the fellas was doing a good job. Why are you sacking him?
When he came out and made some strange sort of statements, yeah, he was getting annoyed with them, wasn't he? And he made some statements about we will pick the other, combine, making
I'm going to go to physios, basically, the medical staff.
Yeah, but it's not unheard of. Tottenham sacked Mourinho, wasn't it? Mourinho before the Carabao Cup week, during the week.
Is his time up in football now? You're saying he's going to Madrid, but that's
his time's not up.
They're the Galacticos, and I love Jose Mourinho's biggest fan. But in today's game, he's really going to suffer because these players with the egos that they've got, and they have got egos, Oz.
I will say that
you said it before. Players will see off a manager.
Jose Mourinho's got a big ego as well in terms of. Yes, he can demand respect from all them, but if they have one disagreement, then
you can't sack 28 players.
Jose Mourinho's not going to back down. That's where Ancelotti was great in terms of he's just so laid back, isn't he?
And all the lads at our place loved him.
Laid back, chill, can demand your respect. Knows what he's doing, and yet wants to make everyone feel happy without anyone having a real debate or argument about it. There's no huge face-to-face confrontations. He manages big egos all in one way. I don't know.
Everyone loved him at Everton.
Yeah,
every player loved him. I mean, he's the only manager in all the years. I never got to meet him because of COVID. Only when something happened.
He was sound.
Was he?
Honestly, yeah. He made me feel good. We only spoke for about 5-10 minutes, and I came away.
I never got to speak to him. I spoke to him on the phone with the chairman when something happened at his house. But besides that, it was just. But every player, and I was always speaking to the lads, was like, he's unbelievable. He's brilliant. And but like I said before, it now worries me with the model for the way football's going and the model it's putting forward, because I don't see managers now having control anymore, and I find that's a struggle.
Well, it's an interesting sort of confrontation then coming to the cup final again. Just when you've got a manager who's been there for ages, won it all, could potentially have this game to win another treble against an interim manager who is in charge of a team that should be doing very well with regards to the money they're spending and the reputation and where they go, but are literally falling apart in front of our eyes with an interim manager. It's quite the contrast, isn't it?
Yeah. All comes down to players. Them players get on that pitch and go, how much do you want to win, lads? It's going to take a leader amongst that Chelsea team, one of them to get amongst them and go, listen here.
They've got it.
There have been upsets back in the day.
That'd be the biggest one if I think they win that.
There have been upsets.
Wigan
beating City was one. Wimbledon beating Liverpool,
I know,
88.
But Chelsea with no manager.
I was at that one.
And Chelsea with no manager in no kind of form, I think would be the biggest shock than beating City. But the form City are in, the way they're playing, the class that they're showing on the pitch, Chelsea getting a result against them would be the biggest shock of them all for me, with no manager. Because who's leading?
Maybe, but I'm telling you, going back to Wimbledon beating Liverpool in 88. I don't know if you're just about too young for that one. Wimbledon with a crazy gang. Liverpool with the best team in the country at the time, going for the double. John Barnes, I think, had just been given. What was it, Steve Nicol? Because I don't talk about it that much, but I was a Liverpool fan.
I shouldn't be saying that. No, shouldn't be talking about that. Jesus Christ!
I don't think I've ever hidden it. I was a Liverpool fan as a kid, so I was at that game, and it was Liverpool were expected to win. And I actually got lost within the stadium, so it gets there before the game, and it was quite messy with regards to the stewarding outside. This was a year before Hillsborough. It was quite messy outside, so we were all getting squashed. So they said, pass your kids over the top and we'll meet you straight away. So they put all the kids, and we got sort of filtered across on the top of all the heads and dads and that, and they just let us inside the place. And my dad had said to me, Leon, just wait right next to that gate you go in. I'm going to keep my eyes. I'm going to go in that gate and you're going to be stood there. I said, okay, no problem. And it does it, and he puts me down, and then a policeman was going, right, come on, off we go. We're going to take you to the pickup point. And I was like, no, my dad said I've got to wait here. And the policeman's going, no, we can't let you stay here.
You told you, little shit.
Can't let you stay here. Yeah, can't let you stay here. We're going to take you to the pickup place. And I'm like, oh no. So anyway, it takes me to the, does what the policeman says. He went, your dad will know and he'll find out. Don't worry, he'll get there. And I'm in this pickup place. So this was probably about half an hour before the game. And then one by one, I'm sat there, and there was loads of kids. One by one, all the dads came in. Dads came in to pick, Dad, here we go. And off to get the game. And then I'm thinking, where's my dad? What's going on here? What's happening? No one was coming in. My heart was breaking. Then I heard kick-off. So it's 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, 20 minutes in, half an hour into the game, and I'm thinking, where's my dad?
Forgot about me.
Where's my dad? Is he watching the game? And he's just left me here. But there was me and this other kid. So the steward said, don't know what's happening here, kids. We'll take you outside just in case he actually didn't get in for some reason. So they took us outside to see if they took us through all the back entrances and all this outside. Like, which gate did you come in? I went, that gate's up there. And as I'm looking in the distance, there was a fella banging on the door saying, let me in, let me in. And it was my dad's mate who had gone the game with. I was like, his name was going, Claire. And he went, oh, and I said, what are you doing? He said, I poked my head out to see if you'd got left outside, and someone pushed me out and shut the door behind me.
Oh, no way.
He went, I can't get back in. So the steward said, don't worry, come with us. It was a funny story, though.
Should have left the cop out outside.
So he gets us back in, and then Glenn was like, your dad's been doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I've ended up finding my dad. We only got in to watch the game about 5 minutes into the, just after half time. Got in to watch the second.
And they
half.
lost that game, didn't they?
Lost that game. Aldridge missed the pen.
Brilliant.
I missed most of it though, so that was a bad memory that turned out to be a good day.
For who?
For us.
Not for
I don't remember. I don't remember anything about that. I'm 6 years old at the time, and yeah, I mean, but
I was only 7.
We just need. I don't know, but we need a good cup runners. We do. We just need to win a cup.
We love a good cup run. I think we were on.
Why have we never won the League Cup, Oz?
I don't actually know the answer to that.
How have we never won the League Cup? We've been going for over 100 years.
Back in the 80s, weren't we? I mean, again,
I don't want to hear we were robbed. I don't want to hear that. No, we've been going for over 100 years
by the other mob. Just going off stories, I think it was about 84.
How have we not won the League Cup? It's just a joke. Like, just you know what? Just next season, just throw everything at the League Cup. Just throw everything at the League Cup. Every game. I don't care if it's Mansfield at home or Mansfield. Just throw everything.
We should have actually won the. We should not have got knocked out the League Cup this year. Did you see the team we put out against Wolves?
Yeah,
that team could be our starting 11 in the Prem.
It's just it's confidence when you're going into games, and I just think the most important part of the pitch when it comes to confidence is your centre forwards. I think your midfielders control games, and we've got an outstanding midfield. He can control games. I just think up top you need lads who are confident and they're playing well. And I think it's probably the reason why it's one of the most important parts of the pitch.
You should get your boots on then and go and show Davey what
no,
you're capable
we don't
of.
need to. We don't need to even go down.
Mate, I've seen you play. Remember when I saw you play on Goodison?
Which time? The time I snapped me ligaments? Yeah, that was fantastic.
The time you were telling me how good a centre forward you were. And
don't make me
I was being the manager. And
don't make me get me free kick out.
He was on the pitch.
I've got me free kick on the phone. Don't make me do it.
Tried to step over, fell on the ball. 5 minutes into this game, he was telling me how good he's going to do. Playing centre forward. 5 minutes into this game, he tried to do
a brilliant game.
Tried to do a step over.
I was playing fantastic.
Stood on the ball and twisted his ankle.
I was playing for the first.
Injured in soccer as well?
I was running the game for 5 minutes, mate. Everything was going through me. I was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then that 6th minute just kicked in. That was the end of me. Snapped me
the
ligaments.
Scream echoing around Goodison Park that day was incredible.
It doesn't matter though, because I scored. I'm the last man to score a free kick at Goodison Park. I'm going to send you the clip and we're going to put it in at the end of this episode for you all to see.
Okay.
Don't do
that. 89th minute against Barclays Bank, the very edge of the far left-hand side.
If you're able to
box,
watch this, it's actually worth watching.
It curls right into the top bin, mate. It's unbelievable.
His celebration's good as well.
Yeah.
What'd you go with?
Big fat fella like Robbie Keane. I mean, I tried to do the rollover, nearly put a crater in Goodison Park.
Did the rollover, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nearly broke me back doing
it. The camera on this side of the pitch shook.
What a goal, what a day. But yeah, it's just throw everything at the League Cup, Everton. Please give me and my kids something to
the FA Cup.
To celebrate.
I'd love it to be the FA Cup.
If you had to pick one or the other, I'd pick the League Cup.
No, I'd pick the FA Cup.
The FA Cup.
No, I know, but we have never won the League Cup. I want to see history at my club. We've won it 5 times now, the FA Cup. Give me the League Cup. Then. I mean, yeah, you've got to.
You had us winning the Europa Conference before.
No, we get in that. We are winning that. That's all. Because I know he's done it. I know he can do it. And Everton are a far bigger and better club than West Ham. I'm sorry, West Ham fans, but we are. It's just the way it is. I'm just telling the truth. And if you're totally honest, you'll know that too. I want to see history.
Letters of complaint care of Tony Bellew.
It's at idon'tgiveashit.com.
Last question, score prediction, City-Chelsea, FA Cup.
3-0. 3-0 City, and I think I'm being kind.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-1. I'm going to go a bit of a hiding. I think they'll just steamroll them. I just don't see any fight in that Chelsea team. And if you've got an interim manager, I don't even know who he is, but they ain't fighting for him. And I just feel, you know what shocks me the most? Why haven't they? And he's clearly putting his name about for it. John Terry coming on going, I'm the 18th coach, no one's called me. And he said that in an interview. And I just think, like, are they missing a trick here, the owners of Chelsea? Just give him a go. You couldn't get any worse.
Not a bad shout, to be fair.
Just give him a go. John Terry is the one. I don't get what the big issue is. He's got all his badges. He's coaching the 21s, and I'll guarantee you, every single player, I don't care what your opinion is, they'll respect him. Every player will respect him because
gone are
he
the
will
times,
demand
aren't
it.
they, where you sort of give your old ex-players the game. I mean, give them the go. You seem to have to go and show that you can go elsewhere and go and do stuff and go abroad. Whereas it seems a lot more glamorous to go and get a manager from abroad that no one's ever heard of, rather than give it to someone who could potentially understand the football club and be very good at what they do. Yeah, don't really do that anymore.
No,
bring that back, Tony.
I think it's an interesting shout. Interim manager going in, Chelsea have had problems. You put someone like John Terry in there.
Just give it to the end of the season.
A bit more of a chance.
Just you know what, we're going to give you the season. We're going to give you a year in charge. Get a grip of this lot. We're just going to give you a 1 year deal. See how it goes.
Don't can't give 1 year deals.
I know, but
the players won't really overly. Any player that doesn't feel like he's playing is now just causing a ruckus to get, because you're in a 1 year deal. I'll wait you out. You've got to give at least more than 1 year deals, and they're
like
going to do that.
De Zerbi. That's why they give De Zerbi.
I mean, they can sack you after 2 months.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. It's 3 year, 1 year.
Might as well give a 5 year deal.
You know what I mean? It makes no odds to them, but I just think for the Chelsea hierarchy, you've got a man there who's adored by fans. I'm not sure if he's a one club player. No, he's not. I think he went to Villa, didn't he, for a little bit? So you've just got a legend of the club there. And I'm not saying every legend's going to be a great manager, but he's coaching at your club already. And you're lost when it comes to managers. I mean, you've just been having a manager in controlling Liam Rossini, and they've been making out he's David Brent. Do you know what I mean? But the things that I got, and I felt so sorry for him at times because none of the players are coming out and going, no, he's not. He does this right with us. He does this. He's brilliant tactically. He makes us aware of certain situations. They're all just like, yeah, leave him to it, throw him under the bus. They ain't doing that to John Terry. I'm telling you now. He will get a reaction, whether it's good or bad. He'll get one. And I just don't think Liam Rossini ever got that reaction from them.
Well, we'll end on this. I think it's fair to say the most unpredictable thing of the weekend coming up won't be the FA Cup final. It'll be Ossie's birthday.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Another year older. It's definitely not wiser.
Always look forward to that.